Israel fighting Hamas and the war that's going on. President Biden saying that Israel has agreed to allow humanitarian assistance now to begin flowing into Gaza from Egypt for the first time in 11 days.
So let's bring in our foreign correspondent, James Longman. He's been covering this from the beginning. James, in the last hour, I guess you had to shelter in place. It's good that you're safe and can continue your excellent reporting from there. Take it away.
Thanks, Kira. Thanks, Terry. President Biden says that aid from Egypt comes with the understanding that it will be subject to inspections and that every dollar must go to civilians and not end up in the hands of Hamas militants. This decision comes on the heels of a deadly blast at a hospital in Gaza, which has left hundreds of people dead and hundreds more injured. The hospital was packed with Palestinians seeking shelter, many of them wounded. There are conflicting claims of who was responsible. President Biden delivered remarks today from Israel about that blast. He expressed concern for the suffering of Gazan civilians and reiterated America's unwavering support for Israel after meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other Israeli leaders. In a message to Israelis from Tel Aviv earlier, President Biden invoked the Holocaust, pledging the U.S. would not let that happen again. Have a listen.
October 7th, which was a sacred Jewish holiday, became the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. It has brought to the surface painful memories and scars left by millennia of anti-Semitism. The world watched then, it knew, and the world did nothing. We will not stand by and do nothing again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett echoed that sentiment in a piece for The Economist yesterday, writing, quote, "For millennia, Jews have been the victims of pogroms, unrestrained murder and pillage. We built our amazing Jewish state with a clear promise of never again. It's up to us now to keep that promise." So let's get back to the show. Welcome back to the show, former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Thank you, Naftali Bennett, for joining us again. 3,500 Gazans have been killed so far. Should President Biden have pushed for a ceasefire?
Well, we're in a very tough battle against animals. Hamas came back down to one of the villages that was wrong. Hamas raped, severed heads of babies, conducted other atrocities that I can't even repeat, burned full families, shot other families, parents, grandparents, and children. And we have to eradicate the Hamas from the face of earth. Now, what Hamas is doing, it's not only killing Israelis, it's killing its own people, including last night when it killed hundreds of its own people by actually an Islamic Jihad rocket that misfired and hit and killed them. Israel clearly is not responsible for Hamas killing its own people by using them as human shields or by shooting rockets at them.
Well, Mr. Bennett, I mean, Israel is responsible now for the deaths of, nearly 3,500 Gazans, a great number of those women and children. You say you're trying to target Hamas, but at this point, surely a ceasefire could be the best route forward. That's what the United Nations says. Try to take a step back, look at the situation, and respond with clarity and calculation rather than perhaps with emotion.
I'd like to fix what you said. You said Israel is responsible for the deaths of 3,500 Gazans? Israel is responsible? Are you sure?
Well, Israeli airstrikes have killed the numbers we have seen, 3,500 Gazans have been killed. Among those are women and children. Well, if you bomb areas where there are civilians, that means that Israel is responsible, surely.
No. Those who are responsible are Hamas, who target and shoot rockets from those very locations. Israel is not responsible for the death of one Palestinian. Yes, when we fight Hamas, there is damage, and including collateral damage, but that is the responsibility of Hamas, not of Israel. I think you need to rethink your rhetoric. Was America responsible for deaths of Germans during World War II? No. It was the Nazi Germany that was responsible. Yes, America and the Allies, sometimes there were citizens and civilians that die in every war that happens. But if you think that Israel is responsible, I think you have let me please finish. Let me please finish. I think if you say that Israel is responsible, I think you have an issue of moral clarity between good and bad. Israel is fighting a defensive war, and you might reconsider what you just said.
I spent the last week speaking to the victims of that terror attack on Saturday. We know full well what happened on Saturday. But we're also talking about innocent lives in Gaza who are caught up in this. And when Israeli bombs land on their homes, they blame Israel for it. It's my job to put those questions to you. How long will it take for Israel to achieve its goal of demilitarizing Gaza? Well, I'm asking you now, how long do you think it's going to take to demilitarize Gaza and getting rid of Hamas? Clearly, there's a big human cost in this aim that Israel has. How long do you think this is going to take? When will we see this ground incursion that a lot of people are expecting, do you think?
It will take as long as it takes, months, even perhaps more. We will never again allow those massacres to be perpetrated. We do offer the Gazan civilians refuge in southern Gaza Strip. But we've given ample time for everyone north of Gaza City, including Gaza City itself, to evacuate southward. And anyone who is there, because Hamas is using it as human shield, so Hamas would be responsible for their murder. And again, I repeat, the responsibility of their deaths is on Hamas.
If this line is gotten quite bad, I'm afraid. Sorry about this, but former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, thank you. I hope you can join us again for your perspective.
Rethink your rhetoric.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.